Hello. We at DSpace are doing a webinar series during this special time during this pandemic. So we've gone to an online option. And my name is Ruth. I am a learning specialist here at DSpace. I usually work with teens and older elementary kids. And I like video games and I like parrots. Now, if you guys can, you can locate the chat in Zoom. You can ask questions there, say hello right over there. Also want to check if you guys hear any background noise right now, because I do have some pets that are squawking right now. Definitely type in chat if you could hear them. Otherwise, from the results of our poll here, I asked everyone, what is your favorite game genre? And 50% chose crafting and sports games. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I'm surprised no one chose platformers because that is actually what we're making. We're making a platformer. If you don't know what a platformer is, it's like a Mario kind of game where you're like jumping on things and moving forward. And I'm surprised a lot of people didn't choose visual novels too. That is like a more text-based game. Hello, Isabella. Yeah. And yeah, I like these options. And if you can, definitely type in chat what your favorite video game is, not just genre, but favorite video game. I can start there. My favorite video games are Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and currently Animal Crossing New Horizons. I don't know if everyone here has heard of that, but a lot of people are playing right now. It's like it came out just at the right time. I get my outdoor stimulation through Animal Crossing, and I get to talk to people through it, and it's really nice. Yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons definitely a favorite right now. Gerald said. Definitely, again, make sure if you want to see everyone to see your message, address it to all panelists and all attendees. Everyone see it. If you just want to direct message me, you just choose all panelists. So I'm going to get started here. I'm going to show a video, but before I show that video, I'm going to give you guys a few links to download while you watch it. But first, Stencil, if you don't have it already, if you want to like follow along, you download this. If you want to watch, you can watch and do this later. Stencil, I'm going to post it right in chat for the link. There we go. And there's the second link. And on that link right in there, it's going to have this file called gmgtemplate.stencil.zip. That file has all like the animations images already in it, ready to go for you to open and work with. So you don't have to like add everything yourself. And then I'm going to go ahead and now play this video. That's a little bit about what Girls Make Games is about. kind of saw from the preview. It was kind of like a slideshow. Good thing I chose that video. They didn't have any anyone talking over it like the other one. But Girls Make Games is a bit of a like series of camps, workshops designed for new generations designers and creators. It has like started like a new free workshop for everyone to like grab and share, like what we are doing here today. Something I want to point out is why it matters. Well, it matters because representation, if they like one of their big drivers is why they made it is because number one, representation. Women only make up 46% of the gaming population. That's about half, but only less than 22% in the video game industry. There's also a social responsibility. The video game industry is one of the biggest content creators that influence society, especially our youth. 9 out of 10 US kids plays games. When women don't make games, their perspective and contribution is left out. Incredible vehicle for social change. I also would include people of color in there because the majority of the industry is white. And number three, opportunity. Video game industries is growing in revenue, annually creating jobs and wealth. Global revenues are expected to reach 170 billion by 2025. Yeah, especially right now with the pandemic, a lot of people are going to games right now. So like, if we want to, like, maybe we should all start learning how to make some games, you know, to keep everyone minds up and going during this lonely time. But again, if you just hop in right now, see some more people came in. There's the link to download stencil, and here we go. And there is the link to download the template. In fact, I'm going to download it now. Yeah. So once you got stencil open, it looks something like this here. And it's asking to create an account. You do not need to create an account at all. You can just click the X right there. And then I'm extracting the zip file that I downloaded from the link of the template. And then if I click on import game, I go to downloads because I downloaded under downloads. And then there's Girls Make Games .stencil right here. Got my game template .stencil that I downloaded. Click open. And looks like one I gave you. It's a little odd. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to import game. Go to downloads. And actually it's GMG template.stencil with the zip on it. That's the one we actually want. Sorry if I misled you with the other. There we go. It's a compressed file, so it makes it easier for stencil to reach right into it. So all I did is, let me grab my little pencil here. I went to import game. Let me change that color. Right here. And then I clicked on downloads. And I brought in that zip file. So I'm going to write and type in chat what I did. Yeah, it holds right everything in there. Okay, and you'll see right here, it's showing up under my games right over here. So I got that. Now, usually if we were starting this from scratch, this part you don't have to follow along right now, but I'm just showing you, you would click file, then create new game. And here you would just choose blank game next, and you would give it a name like level 1, level 2, and then the width and height size if you're starting from scratch and adding your own stuff. but I provided you guys this template here, so you don't have to spend all that time adding animations in. Like whenever we did this workshop in DoSpace, half the time was adding art and animations in. So I kind of decided to make everything a lot easier. So we're focusing more on coding and putting in behaviors and making our game. So hopefully everyone's finally got here. If you have any questions, you can type in chat. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on GMG template stencil. And it's going to ask me to upgrade this game because this was made in a little bit older version. It is okay to click upgrade and continue. Your game has successfully upgraded. There we go. And to know that it worked, on the left side right here, there's actor types, and I can see my characters that we have in the game right there. So it worked out fine. So now I'm going to go a little bit over on what are the different things in this whole thing. So this stencil, whole thing right here, is a game engine. There are several game engines out there like Game Maker, Unity, Unreal, Construct. There's private ones that a lot of companies use. A lot of companies like Square Enix, makers of Final Fantasy and such, use Unreal. They like modified it. They used to have their own thing called like Luminous, but you know, they saw Unreal and made it, wow, it's a lot easier to use their game engine to keep up ours. A game engine lets you make games, but also a lot of cinema folks are using Unreal to create like these cool animated scenes in there. So it doesn't have to be used just for games. It can be used to make apps and other things too. And the main reason why game engines are in use a lot to make games these days is because so people don't have to create the graphics engines and other functions from scratch to make the game. So game engines have made it a lot faster to create content. Now, starting from the upper left, the bar that's right below file, view, run, publish, extensions and such, the one that says create new, saved, import, settings and such, that is our like little settings bar where you can grab settings and you can add game controller. You can, you know, import Stencil and Forge data in there and click on Stencilpedia right over here if you want some like help or learning how things work in the background. And on the right side over there, we have platform, which is what we're testing our game on. If you click under there, you can see HTML5 and other things like that. We want to stick to Flash Player for now, even though Flash is going away, is because the sound files that we have on here only work with Flash. And then after that, there is test game for whenever we want to test our game. And then right under there, here, where it says actor type, that's the folder that we're in. And then over on the right side there, we got create new, create folder. In other menus outside of this one right here is where we find our create import files, like buttons to do, you know, create and import stuff. And then this right here on the left side is where we will find most of our tools. Well, file tools, like if we want to find something in here, we go to actor types, backgrounds to put our backgrounds, fonts. If we have some fonts, we're going to add it in, cool stuff. Scenes is our levels, sounds that I was talking about earlier, right in there. Tile sets to build our foreground. And then there's behaviors and code that scripts you can add your own. Resource packs, if you found one and then added it. Extensions, if you found one line and added it. And then I want to point out one thing here. So I'm going to double click open a few things here. So it's going to look a little weird. There we go. Grab my pencil. And just like your web browser, we have different tabs to go for different things to have open. So if I talk about like, I'm going to go to an actor, do this, or I'm going to go to my background and do this, you can click through these to get back to what you're working on. But if you're done for it for now, you can just click on the X to get rid of it. And if you need to open another thing, you can always go back to dashboard and find these other files in there. There you go. So the first thing we're going to do is think about how do we start making a game? Some people think Just make a character. Some other people think add in sounds. Other people think add in some new ideas. You can type right in chat what you think we should start with first. But usually when we start making a game, we usually want to start with the room that it's going to live in. And in Stencil, it's called scenes. In Unity, it's scenes. Unreal, it's maps. In Game Maker, it's rooms. But if I go right in the scene, so you can see right here is scenes under dashboard, where we got none at all. I'm under scenes. This game contains no scene. And I can see under that file bar, it says scenes, create new, create folder. I can click create new there to create new, or I can just click this middle little box right here that has dashes on it. That said this game contains no scenes. Click here to create one. So I'm just gonna left click and click right there. And there we go. We got a little create new menu right here. And again, there's things we can go through for different things we create. So under basics, name, level, right here is where we want to type our name. And again, if you want to know where I found scenes, I want our dashboard, scenes, click the middle button to get this menu right here. And I'm going to type level 1 because it's level 1. And I'm going to keep it 20 tiles by 15 tiles for size. Now size is measured by tiles, and you look right below that. It says tile width and tile heights, 32 by 32. So each tile is 32 by 32 pixels, and across 20 tiles made of 32 by 32 pixels across and a height of 32 by 32 pixels tiles. So I can also change tiles to pixels to see my actual screen size here. So I wanted to take a look at that. I'm going to keep it on tiles. And this is all good what we want. Got level 1. I'm okay with the sizing right here. I might have to go back and change sizing. Okay, so while everyone's here, I'm actually going to pause share. Don't click create yet. I'm going to pause it for a little bit, because I need to check if my tile sizing is right. Nope. Remove. Create new. Yeah, and stay on that screen. Don't create anything yet. There we go. Here we go. So going back over here, level 1. So actually, right in here, our tile size needs to be 16 by 16, not 32 by 32, because the tile set I just looked at was a lot smaller. You'll see soon what tile sets are, but the pixel size needs to be 16 by 16. And then after that, then you can create, click create. Right there. So I'm going to let people have some time we went to scene and click create new, name it level 1, and then change tile width and tile height to 16 by 16. And that is about all you need to do. And then you can click create. So all the things with red boxes around it are only things that we touched and changed. Yep. Just giving some people some time to get to this point here and create it. Okay, good. If you're still working on creating your scene, let me know. But now I'm going to be moving on to the next part. So I'm going to click create. And it gives me this screen right here. I'm going to give a little explanations of what the different things. If my face is covering anything on your screen, you can actually left click on it and drag it around and move it to other spots around your screen if you're working on the computer. I know on mobile, it like keeps my face at the bottom of it, not covering the screen. but if you're on a computer, you will need to move my face around to see more things. Okay, so this is our level editing space. On the right side over here is again our toolbar. Sorry, I said right, left side. Our left side right over here is our toolbar. And first thing I want to point out is the magnifying glass. Right over here, minus and plus. To click on the plus one, it zooms in. You have to like click on it and then click on the middle to zoom in. And you can click on minus and you have to click on the middle screen here to zoom out. There you go. I was zoomed in and zoomed out. So like I can't like rapidly click on the magnifying glass on the left side of here. It won't work unless I click right in the middle. And then another thing right over here in the toolbar on the side right here is a little, like if we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, there is this little tool right down here that lets us extend the size of our scene. So if I go ahead and left click on that, I get this bar that's really long. It goes up and down. And I can move it around. I'm gonna move slowly here. And if I left click on here, it makes my room longer. So if you're thinking like a platformer game, like a 2D one, like Mario or Ori and the Blind Forest, or trying to think of other 2D platformers out there. I know a lot of mobile games do have those, like 2D platformers. Hollow Knight is another. Generally, in those 2D games, the rooms are pretty long. So, and like we have like a little camera that zooms on your character and it moves along in the room. So we don't want to stick to one small screen. So I can just like left click in here and continue to extend my room. I'm gonna make it quite long. Keep going here. You can make your room as long as you want. Just know you're gonna have to design all of that space. I also want to point out there's scroll bars at the bottom and the right next to here. If you left click, you can like drag back and forth. If like your room's getting too long. And it looks like that is about the right space that I want. Now I'm going to show you a little cool new tricks, but I'm not going to be using them. I'm just going to be showing them. Back to that tool we're using. If I right click on it, my text is kind of covering right, my little red marks are covering right now, but there's insert column, insert row, row makes it taller. And there's remove column where all this little red space you see right here, it's going to delete that whole line of tiles. So if I click right there, it makes my room shorter. I'm going to scroll all the way to the right, show you. If I click right here, it made the room shorter. Guess it's easy to see on this side. Nope. It's really hard to illustrate it when I don't have anything. And then it's row for row. You can kind of see it by the size of my scroll bar at the bottom here. Okay. Next tool. Actually, we're going to be doing a little jump back here before I go back and explain the other tools. If you notice in here, this is just kind of a boring square rectangle here. It needs a background, right? So there's actually several backgrounds that we have. I'm going to go ahead and clear all my drawings. Right there, so it doesn't block anything. So if you have noticed, someone has said I couldn't control mine well. Oh, yeah. You can't control it well, that's fine. You can actually go right in here and just If you're using a touchscreen, this could be a little difficult. If you're using a touch pad instead of a mouse, it could be a little hard too. I'm using a mouse, so that might be why things are a little bit smoother here. But you can definitely go back in here and edit it more. Like, you can always come back here and edit more. One thing I want to point out is every time you add something, we want to save our game. So I'm going to left click, save. It's saved. So there are times where our computers can crash from heavy duty programs and we lost all that data. I know Adobe products have come up with ways to save it, but it doesn't always happen. So every time we do something new in our game engine, not only do we save it, but we want to test it. Because if we added a bunch of code in there and we kind of forget what we changed and we tested it and it's not working, we have to go back and check all the things that we just added to our game to fix it. So if you test it every time you add a few little things, it makes it easier to go back and fix. So I'm going to go ahead and click test game. If you have it on Flash, it's going to open a new window. If it says something about sound files not working, you have to switch it to Flash. If you're on a Mac, you have to like type your password in to run it. There might be some firewall permissions that you have to go through. You might have to ask someone who owns the computer or knows a little bit more about computers about fixing firewall permissions. Then testing game, I'm waiting for it to compile. Compiling's loading all the code. And there it is. It's this little square of nothing because we got nothing there. Nothing really much there at all because we haven't added anything. And that's why I was thinking next thing we should add a background so we can see some things. So I'm done with this little Flash window now. I'm going to close it so I don't overload my computer with a bunch of Flash windows. And I'm going to go back to Flash here. And I'm going to clear my little drawings here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Dashboard, where we find all our files. And then I'm going to go to Backgrounds, which is right below there. My little drawing kind of covers it a little. Oop. There we go. Right there, Backgrounds. And click on Backgrounds, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. You can click any one of these 5 options. I'm gonna go with Night Sky. Blank Night Sky has got no stars in it. Regular Night Sky has got stars. So giving some people some time to get here. You went to Dashboard, and I went to Backgrounds. And I'm actually going to be double clicking on Night Sky real soon to open it. Okay, there you go. So next thing I'm doing is double clicking on Night Sky. There we go. And I got this tiny square right here. It won't let me zoom in, but this is another little side menu. If you look at your little tabs up here, we can go back to level 1, Dashboard, Night Sky here. And right in the middle here, we see their picture. And then on the right side, we have some options here. There we go. We got horizontal scroll speed, vertical scroll speed. We don't care about those right now. That's a little thing for parallaxing. But right here is a little thing that says repeat background. I'm gonna click check on that. And then I'm gonna go click on attach scene. Okay, so all I did was double click on this background I want. You don't have to do Night Sky, you can do another one. It'll be the same menus for the others. And then I click the check mark for repeat background. And then I'm gonna attach to scene. Okay, so now I'm going to attach it to scene. It's on this little bar up here with a bunch of red arrows around it. clicking attach the scene, and then I'm choosing my level 1, or my scene is named level 1. It's just the only one I got right here. And then I'm clicking OK. And there we go. We got a background in there. Now, I'm gonna give some people some time to get this point, but the next thing we're gonna do after this is test game. Every time we test game, it actually saves the files for us, so we don't have to click save every single time. But if you're working with any other game engines, you might have to make sure you save before you test it, but most should save before it tests. Whenever you do test game, it compiles it, so it's just making sure everything works fine. If nothing passes, like if there's something that doesn't pass the compiler right, it'll give you a bug saying, hey, this is not gonna work. Otherwise, it'll test the game. So next thing I'm gonna do here is now click test game, because I just did something and I wanna make sure that I did it right and I don't break my game. So there we go, we're saving, compiling. Oh, someone has asked, my window open in Storm. Okay. So right here, we can see it worked for me. So someone said my window opened in Storm. Let's go dashboard over here. Storm. Oops. Is Storm a program on your computer? Or did you like open the picture in something else? Or is it something in here? Or is it something to do with the little platform right here? Because before I test game, I want to make sure it's in Flash player. Again, if anyone has any questions, you can type it right in chat. I'm okay with going back to older things that anyone has missed. This is a little interactive webinar, so I'm completely okay with that. I'm just making sure everyone's on the same page before I move on. So I'm helping a little with this question here. Oh, if it's a browser, that's fine. I'm going to choose HTML5 here, test. Might give me an error here. Yep, platform requires OGG sounds for that. Could do Flash player browser test game. Compiling, saving. And I will get something like this. To view this page, ensure you have Flash player version. So you might have to go through and install that if you don't have Flash on there. If you're okay with that working with sounds, you can also go to dashboard, sounds, and remove them. So you want to get that fixed. Okay. So if no one is having any issues still, I'm hoping I helped you with your issues, Isabella. But if no one has any more issues, I will be moving on. Okay. So clear all drawings here. So I got level 1. Now we're finally getting to the fun part here. Designing our levels. Someone says I can't get the assets file to work. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that. see, can I do a small share? Okay, I'm going to show on folder right here. I got Girls Make Games Around the World assets. And right in here, I have GMG template stencil. I'm gonna make it larger. There you go. So hopefully if you have it downloaded to your computer, all the files should look like this. And this right here is the one we want. Don't open that at all. Just make sure that is downloaded on there. It's got a giant zipper on it. We're not extracting it. We're not uncompressing it. We're just keeping it as that. And I'm gonna open, fun thing about stencil is that you can open multiple instances of stencil. So I have this one back here, still here, good to go. And then the next thing you do is import game. And if my face is covering it, you can left click on my face and move it out of the way. Okay, so I open stencil right in here, import game. I click on import game. And then I look under downloads if it's saved in your downloads. If the file you downloaded is somewhere else, you want to go to desktop, you save it to desktop, documents, you have it saved under documents. If you're on a Mac, you have to go under Finder and go to downloads and such. So here at the top right here, it says look in, and I'm going to go down to downloads because that's where mine is. And I'm going to go to Girls Make Games. Girls Make Games assets, and there it is, GMG template.stencil, right there. There it is. And then I click open. It's got a zipper on it. Make sure, because earlier I accidentally clicked on the one without the zipper because I extracted the file. I was like, wait, nope, has to be saved this way. Because stencil is looking for a .stencil file, which is kind of a zip file to Windows. But stencil needs that type of file. You click open, and if it says already exists, it said put place and stuff, but you just click open. My screen has something different here because I have it opened somewhere else. But if you haven't have this open in stencil yet, yeah, all I do is click OK, and then it'll say something along the lines like, upgrade, would you like to upgrade this? You say yes to that. If it doesn't have an open option, it will show up under My Games, GMG template stencil. You double click on there, and it may ask you to like upgrade after that. And then you should have something. I'm gonna close that one. Let me go back to here. Like this here. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, that folder that I linked has a file called Girls Make Games Stencil Platformer. Right here, Girls Make Games Platformer Walkthrough. It's on a little bit older version, but still actually wasn't that much different now. And it goes over how to make the game. It has different pictures, but essentially mostly the same. And so if you guys get behind on anything, you can always come back to this little walkthrough booklet that's part of those downloaded files. And you can work through these and, you know, finish making your game. And I'll link again the folder for anyone who's missed it. Right into the Zoom chat. There we go. Okay, now I'm going back to designing our level here. So I can't zoom in onto the right side right here, but usually we'd go through learning how to upload tile sets, but on this little file, we already got the tile set uploaded. So right here is your tile sets. If you like left click right in here, we have like this little square that highlights in here. I'm just left clicking through it. And if I just click a random part, just left click on one, and I hover over here, you kind of see a light faint tile overlapping. And if I left click right in my space, go back to mouse here. Oh, I know why. Okay, this is an extra side thing. Nothing's showing up for a particular reason. Because when we insert a background that came in later, right down over here on the lower right is our layers. If you guys have never worked with Photoshop or anything that's layers, this might be a little confusing, but layers are basically like pieces of paper stacking each other, and they all have different things. Right over here in the lower right, night sky comes before layer 0. Night sky has a lock mark on it, says that we can't add anything to it. Layer 0 is where we want to put our tiles. Layers are just there to help us separate different objects. So if we had a lot of like trees and we have like a visual forest with thousands of them and we're trying to click our character and we keep accidentally selecting those trees, layers can help in hand where we have a tree layer and our character's on a different layer. So right here, I'm gonna move a layer down or layer up. So I'm right down here. And then I'm gonna click on this little arrow right here that points arrow down. To click on that, it moves night sky down one. There we go. And then I'm gonna make sure I have layer 0 highlighted right here. So I clicked on layer 0, highlighted it right here. And now I'm gonna test my tile there. There we go. Now it's in there. So all I did is, if you had that problem like I did where I was putting tiles in here, nothing was showing up, I moved my night sky down one under layers, and my layer 0 is on top, right there. Here you go. So back to the tools on the left side over here, because whenever I was talking about, oh, we need to insert a background first before we started doing any things. So there's some more stuff over here. Right at top, there's a select tool, and then there's a pencil tool, and there's a tile tool, and then a paint bucket. And we got our insert row and column tool. And below these, we're not gonna go over these tools at all right over here. They got something creating joints for animations and rigging. And below that, we got zoom in and zoom out. So direct selection tool, the first one, that had objects in here, it lets me left click and move them around. And if these weren't tiles, maybe a character or something, I could make it larger with this bounding box here and rotate it, but they're tiles, so it won't let me. And if I need to delete it, I can left click with the select tool, select it over here, and left click right in here and hit the delete key to delete one. And I can delete a bunch of them. And I have to have that tool selected to be able to click right over here to get some tiles in. So if I want to start decorating my scene, I can left click on a tile over here on the right side. If I left click on here, and I left click right in the scene, and it gets my tile down. If I hold left click down, marking on the right side over here now, if I hold left click down and drag out, it makes a bigger box. and then I let go. And then I can insert some boxes right in here. And you see that my tile's bigger, and it's got the whole thing in there now. And you notice now it switched to a pencil tool on the left side over here. Pencil tool is just drawing different things that I've selected. So at this moment, if you guys don't have any questions, you can start decorating your level or start some level design right over in here. So that's what I'll be doing for like the next 15 minutes. It's just selecting different things in here and start designing my level. And I'm going to talk through it, but you can go ahead and start focusing on designing your level here. So I'm going to be starting with a middle size area about right here. And since this is a platform, I can, make some platforms through this. Now, I just got a question about adding a background. I can definitely go over how to add a background, but in the meantime, for everyone else, you can definitely go through and start designing your level right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and go to add a background. So I'm gonna grab my little spotlight tool so you can see my cursor a little bit better, but I'm on dashboard. So there's level 1 and dashboard under the tabs right here. There's backgrounds. So I'm under resources, went to backgrounds, and you could choose whatever background you want over here. You can choose circuit, blank sky, blank night sky, or one I chose starry sky or cloudy. I can go ahead and double click on, don't show again, saving. I got a little error that just happened from opening night sky. I'm going to open cloudy sky instead. It's probably because night sky is in my scene, but in cloudy sky there. And then I am going to go to the right over here. There's our mini dot things. The only one we really care about is repeat background. Because if we insert just the scene without repeating background, it's just going to be one square that shows up in the upper left. So I'm going to click the check mark there. We don't care about parallax scrolling. That's just for settings for making layered backgrounds. And then we attach it to scene. Yeah. So what I did is I went to dashboard, backgrounds, double click on one of them, got this here, chose yes or repeat background, and then attach to scene. And then once I click attach scene, I choose the scene I want to attach to. So I can choose level 1 and I click OK, and it'll attach it to my scene. I'm not going to click OK here because I want to keep my night sky. But I hope that answers your question, Gerald. I'm just going to go over it one last time. So I went to dashboard, I clicked on background, and it chose the one I liked. And then I clicked on repeat background, little check mark on it, attached the scene, chose my level, and then I clicked OK. And I get something like this right here. Here we go. So I'm going to go back to designing my level here. So I start with the high platform. And then I'm going to have a kitty show up about right here. Actually, no, I'm going to have a floating platform right here. No, I'm changing my mind. When it comes to level design, you change your mind a lot partway through, which is part of the design process here. So I'm actually going to start with a high ground and jump down a little bit and then have a gap. So as you design your level, you want to make it easy and then harder over time. Because since it's the first level, we're teaching the player how to play. like jumping and moving around. So I'm going to have a small gap, not that wide right here. I'm going to zoom a little bit more for you guys. Let's have a little gap right here, just for a little learning. Moving a little. And then now I'm going to add the kitty. Can also have like tri-colored platforms here. I'm just trying it out. So I'm going to jump on the kitty and then another kitty with a gap higher up. Yep. Tiles are a little bit misaligned here. Yeah, and then I'm going to make a floating platform. I'm going to have it about here. And then I'm going to decrease the difficulty by having really tiny platforms that my character has to jump across. And I'm going to try to increase their distance between them. There you go. So start really easy, little gaps. And then it gets really hard. And then I make a clearing over here. About up right here. And maybe it's kind of like this weird inside thing. About right. There we go. Maybe not. And it's okay to change your mind partway through if you want. I'm going to delete these tiles right here because I'm going to make it a little fall on the inside. There you go. That lines up a little better. And again, you can take this time to design your level here. And then we got these like little weird gaps in here. That we have to get across. And if I want to move something, I can just grab my selection tool at the toolbar on the left. And I can left click drag open and move things around here. There we go. And I kind of ran out of space. So I'm just going to grab insert column. Oops. And insert more space over there. And then make a little hard platform jump to do. Now I'm going to grab the one with the dots. It's a little bit more decorative. Maybe. Also like to decorate my level a little bit. Make it a little bit taller. Then it's floating. And then I'm gonna have my end zone, still room again. And I'm gonna have like a ending platform. About right there. And I'm gonna remove some columns over here. There's my level. At this point, you got your level done. Picture you have your cursors like your player, and you can like jump through to kind of test it before you start doing any other things. So I'm gonna make this little platform a little closer. And this one a little closer. There we go. So jump, jump, jump up here. There, down, down. Bring one up higher. And then I'm gonna bring that one up a little higher. There we go. And my character's gotta land right in there. Okay. Now, like I said, every time we add stuff, we wanna test it. I'm gonna give you guys some more time. Design your levels. I'm gonna test game. I'm doing Flash Player because I don't want to download it to my browser. I'm doing Flash Player and then test game. And then during this time while we're designing levels, if you guys got any questions, you can ask right in the Zoom chat. Oh, and there's my level. Of course, right over here, it's not showing everything. So I'm going to make it a little taller. Going to insert row. Yep. And I'm just doing this by going to the fifth tool on the left side right here. I just went to insert row. The reason why I'm doing this is because when I test a game, I noticed my platform's in the middle, and that told me, oh, my room's not tall enough for this scene, for the little screen. So now I'm testing game, waiting for it to pop back up. That's a little bit better. It used to be, these platforms used to be a lot higher up. Now I'm just kind of bringing them down. So I'm adding some more to the top here. Test game, saves for me. Saving, compiling. There we go. That's good for now. There's another thing I'm going to be adding in later. It makes it easier for us. That it. But now we're actually going to be adding. I'm going to think what next. Okay, this isn't really a game yet. What do we need to add to make it more of a game? Probably a character. Yeah, we should probably add a character. So I'm gonna grab my little highlight tool. I'm going back to dashboard. So if you're still designing your level, it's okay. If you haven't finished yet, you can always go back and design it some more. It's just we need to get to the part where we're testing our, making our thing more like a game. So I'm gonna go to dashboard, right over here. I'm on dashboard. Any interactive element in stenciled is usually called an actor type. Tiles are just little foreground things for us to move on. But I'm going to go to actor types, which is the top one here. If you guys want to keep working on this game later, you're only going to be adding one character in, but if you want to keep working on it later, you can definitely like learn how to add collectibles like coins, some enemies, a flag goal where you get to the end, you touch the flag, you win, and various things. But as I am under dashboard and actor types, there is a character named RED. Girls Make Games calls it like RED instead of red. I guess it's like a little robot. You can double click on that. And you can see that the animations has already been added. So I'm just pointing these out. We're not going to really do anything to these yet. But you can see that there's animations in here. There's like a little editor to add images in. And there's like plus and minus buttons on the lower left right here. They can click through to add things in here. Now, even though I went away from my level 1 scene to show you guys this, we're going to go back to the level 1. So where the tabs are at the top, there's dashboard. I have red open. I'm going to go to level 1. Here we go. And then if you look at where your tiles are, there's a little thing that says actors next to tiles right here on the right side. And I left click on that, it gets me my actors. And I can left click them and select them. And then I got my character and I can see stuff right now. Be careful when you add your character in. I can like accidentally left click multiple times and the game will overload with all these characters I have in here. And sometimes I can click off the side a little outside of the scene and lose them over in that direction. And I don't want to do that, so I want to make sure everything's in the right space. So I only want to click on them once. Just place one character in there once. So I can left click on red. And I'm not going to place my character in the ground like this, because if they do that, my character's just going to fall down. There's a thing called collisions in games that stops from things like moving through other things. If you ever played a game where you accidentally walked through a wall, that's because that wall doesn't have a collision box to stop your character from going through that wall. If their character is partially overlapped with the collision box check will never happen, and it will just continue as is. So my character, if it was right here, partially through, it would fall down, or my character would just be stuck. So I'm gonna have my character float a little bit above the tile right here. And I left click once. Just once. If you accidentally left click multiple times, you have to like click through the other ADs and delete them. But I left click once. You notice I'm putting a lot of emphasis on this because there's been a lot of times when we had this class at Do Space where someone had like some extra character off the screen somewhere and we had to go find it. So that's why I'm really emphasizing here. Click on the screen once. Have your character in here exist only once in here. We're doing a single player game. Okay, and once you got your character in there, I went under actors. I'm gonna go over again. So I went to actors, under my level scene, clicked RED, left click once right in here above the tile, right over here. So with gravity, it'll push my character down onto there instead of getting stuck in there. Now, once we all have that all done, I'm gonna go click on test game. I'm using little blue arrows to point at test game here. Click test game. There we go, it's saving. It's compiling. There we go. There's my character. And if I press any arrows, oh, I can't do anything. Now, you guys are wondering, this class does last until 2:30. So we got about 20-ish minutes to get movement on our character here. So I'm just pressing yellow keys, nothing's happening because we haven't added anything yet. We got a character ID right here in the middle, just kind of floating here. I can close that. There we go. Now, next thing I gotta think about doing, oh, to add my movement to my character. Ah, yes, that's why I opened RED earlier. So, right up here, next to the dashboard, level 1. If you have other tabs, I'm gonna have to go through them. But I'm gonna go to RED, the one we opened earlier. If you don't have that open, go to dashboard, actor types, RED, double clicking on that. There's RED. And you'll notice that there's a little menu kind of near the top-ish area over here. There it is. And that is our little settings for our main player here. We got appearance for changing the look, got behaviors for adding little things it could do, events for coding, collisions for change the collision box, physics, and then properties. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on behaviors here. So I clicked on behaviors. There we go. So I'm under behaviors, under RED. And then again, in the middle, there's a little option for us to add something in here. I'm gonna go ahead and click here and choose a behavior to attach this actor type. I click there. And then I get all these options to choose a behavior. A behavior is a little set of steps of code that are already made for us to quickly insert things to your game to get our game going without spending a lot of time coding all these little things. So most game engines already have jumping and movement already ready programmed in, and you can just choose and select it to get character moving. If you want to do something special, you have to code that yourself. So under behaviors, from your library, there's an option that says controls. So there's controls. I left click under controls. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to choose, find my little marker here, jump and run movement. There it is. So I went to behaviors, I clicked in the middle, went to controls, and I'm going to be choosing jump and run movement. I'm going to give some people some time to catch up to that point. Okay. So I'm going to click on jump and run movement, click choose, clear all, and it gives us a little guide, little instructions for us that we fill out. So if I look over here, there under running force, it says this force is used for running. And then under variable jump, holding down the jump key longer will make this actor will jump a little higher only if variable jump is selected. So there's all these options here, and we want to fill them all. So left control right here. Wish I could zoom in a little bit more for you guys, but I don't have the option to. So actually I do. I can do Windows Plus. There we go. I wonder if this actually works in Zoom. Just checking if it's zoomed in over here. This is something I've tried before. I'm just kind of curious if it works. Yes, it does. Okay. Too bad I can't see chat right now. But on our left control, we choose left, right, or right. These are arrow keys. Jump, enter, or I like to do the up arrow. Running force, I'll keep it 50. Maximum speed at 15. Jumping force, 25. And then I got the left and right animations. I'm going to exit out of that because it won't let me scroll down. But I chose left control left, right control right, jump control up, keeping the numbers the same. And then I got the animations. Idle animation is when your character's just kind of standing there. Maybe they'll twitch a little, adjust their clothes. And then the rest should be a little bit more explanatory, but idle left animation, I click on choose animation. There we go. And then I find the one that says idle left, click OK. That's idle right. I choose idle right, OK. Run left animation. I'm gonna choose walk left, there's no running unfortunately. Run right animation, walk right. Jump left animation, I'm just gonna go with attack left. Jump right animation, attack right. There we go. So what we did is we added a jump and run movement, chose left control for left, right for right, up for up, unless you want to do enter, if you prefer to do enter. Kept the numbers the same. Part of as a game designer, you'll be adjusting these numbers differently to change the feel of your game. Maybe you want your character to jump really high. Maybe you want your character to jump really low. Maybe you want your character to move really slowly. It's up to you to change those numbers, but for now, you're just going to keep it like this, so we don't have to fix as many bugs later. So if I scroll down, next thing we did is add different animations according to name. And after you've done all this, you can test game. So I'm going right over here, I'm going to test game. So I click test game, now it's saving and compiling. There we go. And I can move my character around. Oh no! I'm floating. Whoop. Oh, now I'm rolling around. Oh no! Oh no, I'm rotating. Oh, my character's gone. I knew that would happen because there's something we need to add later. So I talked about a little thing called physics earlier. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to physics here. Now, I'm going to be talking a little bit faster because we've got 15 minutes left. And I'll link that little workbook again if you guys want to keep working on this game later. I'm going to go to physics here. And then there's a little thing right here that says can rotate. It says yes, that's why our character was like spinning circles while it went up. We need to check no on can rotate. And then I'm going to test game. There we go. And my character's still kind of sliding around. There's nothing to do, but now when I hit these cat ears, I don't rotate. I'm not rotating out of sight and floating all the way up. But my character's sliding and I can't jump. So I'm just using arrow keys to move. So we need a little thing called gravity. Gravity is important in platformers. So after I'm done in here, I'm actually going to go back over to level 1. So I'm here in level 1. And then I'm going to choose physics under my level 1. So I'm going to physics. And then under physics, I'm going to change my vertical gravity. I'm going to change it to about 20. Now this number that I'm coming up with is based on my behaviors running. I think jumping force. Yeah, jumping force is 25. I'm just going to do a 20. I just try to keep that number about the same. And then we're going to test game. So I went to level 1. I clicked on physics under level 1. And then I changed the vertical gravity to 20. There's horizontal gravity, so I only push left to right. Vertical gravity is up to down, so it's pushing down. You see this little tabs that says right and up right there. We can make gravity push characters up if we want to, but I want to keep my gravity going down. So after that, we test game. Yep, there we go. And look, our character fell down. I can jump now. Now I might add a little bit more gravity force, but I can jump. And I can move. Jump. Jump. Now I'm jumping across and, oh, my camera didn't follow because we need to add a camera. So that's the last thing we need to do for this webinar. There actually is a lot more to this. You'll find in the booklet, there's like a part where you can add enemies. There's things where you can add collectibles, where you go collect coins. There's another part where you add like a little flagpole. When you get to the end of it, it starts your game over. But we're just going to be doing that camera follow next. And whenever I fall off the scene, it will reload my game. So now I'm going to go back to RED. So under dashboard, actors, RED. And then this is a little bit harder to find. Put all the way down to the lower left here. There's a little thing that says add behavior and remove behavior. So if you want to add more behaviors for your character to do stuff, you have to like look all the way down to the lower left, click add behavior. And then to go to, let's see. So when you think about, I want to add this thing. Adding a camera to follow might be under game, and it is. It's under game there. And then I'm going to click on camera follow. Just a little arrow for people. So I went and clicked add behavior. We clicked on game, camera follow. Under actor type RED. Add a behavior, clicked on camera follow. And then choose. And we don't have to do anything else. So I'm testing game. There's my game, my camera, hopefully follow. So I'm gonna try to jump through this. As a game designer, I would make my jump not so high, but it's just up to your preference you want to try out for your game. And look, my camera is following me now. And I'm gonna say it, because right now this is really easy. Oh, I fell out of the screen and I can't do anything. So the last thing I'm gonna be adding here is that game reload after we fall off the screen. So I'm gonna go back to add behavior. And then this is one I always have trouble finding for some strange reason. Nope, I found it right away this time. I'm gonna choose die and pit and reload. Click that, and then choose. So I went to RED, actor types, add behavior in the lower left, went to game, right here, die in the pit and reload, and then choose. And here we do have options to do. The only one I'm gonna be changing here is transition style. Because transition style makes, it's like whenever like your character dies in a game and stuff, your screen will like turn to black. Or if you're playing Minecraft, to say like, you have died. You have to click on restart or respawn and such. And it'll tell you like what you died to and stuff. Our screen usually fades out and fades in when we respawn, come back into the game. And over here we have the options. I know my red circle is kind of blocking it right now. Fade, lines, bubble, spotlight, blur, boxes, crossfade, slide up. Sorry, excuse me. Slide down, slide right, slide left. So I'm gonna do a blur because I usually do bubbles because it makes like little sparkles show up everywhere. But I'm gonna do bubbles. And then test game after that, but there's one more thing I'm gonna do because it's slightly bothering me. And is to add more rows up here. And then I'm gonna go to jump and run movement. And I'm just changing that jumping force to 15. And then my running force to 35. You don't have to do this part. I'm just fixing some things here to make the game feel a little bit better. It's definitely to go back and test your game and always adjust your values for different things. And looks like the script does not work for function generation. Oh, and this is the issue that we have with, it's gotta reload. If you wonder what this is right here, this is all some code within the behavior. And I think this is something to do with, like the update that we did earlier. So there's something wrong with introduced camera. Why? Okay. So if you have this problem here, you're doing slide, you can do the easy route in left click things and drag it to trash can. But let's see, intended camera Y. Let's see here, there's like regular attributes, in time, out of time. Run game. No, the one I'm technically using, oh no, blur is the weird one. Okay, so for sake of time, I'm just gonna make this easier. I'm gonna choose crossfade down here because I don't have anything for camera wire here. This value, if you look for the bugs, does not exist. So I'm just gonna grab all of these, delete in there, and then I have to grab an if. And then I have to move all these up in here. Delete this. There we go. And then go back to RED. I'm gonna do crossfade, test game. Now, if you chose not to upgrade, you don't have to worry about this. There we go. Here's my character jumping around. Let's see if I can make it to the end. Oh, nope. Ah, and we faded in and out. Nope, 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 nope. Got this. Eee. Okay. Just driving my level. Oh, nope. Died. And it reset. There you go. I'm gonna make sure that I can get to the end here. But while I'm doing this, you could definitely check out that workbook I linked on Zoom chat. If you're looking through at this later this week through a YouTube video, you can search Girls Make Games, go to their website, and you can find like their workshops. And when you download their workshops, you can get their little instructions manual and follow that there. It's a nice, lovely little book. Definitely check out Girls Make Games. They're a really good nonprofit, helping lots of people get started in making games and such. But there you go, reached the end of my game there. And now we're done. Now, if you guys have any questions, you can go to dspace.org. I'm gonna share that link again. You can go to dspace.org, and there's like this little chat box on the lower right that shows up. I'm just getting the link again. There you go. There's the link of all the files and such. But if they go here and go to DSpace, you guys got questions? We got like this little chat thing on the lower left right here. If you click right there, you can ask questions right there. If you got any, like when's the next webinar and stuff, or how do I find more Girls Make Games stuff? We can help you right in there, or you can email us at hello@dspace.org. This video will be available again later this week if you want to go over it again on our YouTube page, DSpace YouTube page. And if you made any really cool stuff like with your own video game, you can go to our Facebook page on DSpace and share with us what you made. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining this webinar. Sounds like you guys are making really cool projects, and I definitely encourage you to share them. Otherwise, definitely have a good evening and continue making awesome games. Goodbye, everyone.